What's going on, y'all? Get the likes up, y'all, when you come in here. Oh man, it's kind of dark. Let me turn the light a little bit. Yeah, make sure you get the likes up. What's going on, man? I appreciate everybody that's in here. D, I see you in the building early, man. I appreciate you being in here. So groovy, what up? I missed last night's live. I don't have it private, bro. I have it on the Patreon. The link is in the description of this video. If you want to look at it, if you want to look at it for free, it's in the Patreon. You just got to click the link, and I'll take you to it directly. It's free, bro. I just can't play that on here because when I start talking crazy, like I can't keep it on YouTube. And I was going in, bro, yesterday. So shout out everybody in the building, man. Shout out J Tom Reactions, Mr. Milkshake, what up? Kamisha Smith, what up? Mansell in the building, Quickie Sticky in the building, No Sympathy in the building. Let's go, man. What up, bro? Charlotte in the building. Let's go, bro. F yo couch. Shout out Rick James, RIP. Yeah, man. All right, bro. So y'all already kind of know if y'all are in the know. The court documents for UMG and lawsuit, the UMG and Drake lawsuit have just updated, and we're gonna get into it, man. There's a lot of things that have happened since the last time that we were live, so we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna talk about a few things, and we're gonna talk about this lawsuit as well. Shout out everybody that's getting in here. Shout out Junior in the chat, man. Junior, what up? Clifford, what up, man? W Clifford in the chat, y'all. Shout out Madara. Madara, what up, bro? Get the likes up, y'all. So let me see. Make sure y'all get the likes up, y'all. Okay. How's everybody doing, man? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's day was good. We're about to get into it, bro. We're about to get into it. I'm going to read these files. It's going to be a read. We're going to have a good reading session right now when we read these court cases, because it looks like Drake decided to request another subpoena over another person on the witness list. And if I heard correctly, this person that he's requesting has ties to Ramon Alvarez Smickle. Now, if you remember the last time that we talked about Mr. Smickle, we had talked about how he was in association with these rumors that were going on Twitter. There was a smear campaign involving the NFR podcast and Ramon Alvarez Smickle. Now they're saying that there's an individual by the name of Kaplan that they are now trying to subpoena, who apparently is associated with the same guy, Ramon Alvarez Smickle. Now, I'm wondering if it was because of that smear campaign, because of those rumors that were made online about Alvarez Smickle, that is now bringing Kaplan into court, or now being the next person to be questioned in the court of law. Because we've already talked about the request. The request, they had asked any information or documentation in regards to Alvarez Smickle paying off anybody that talked good about Kendrick Lamar. That was in the recent one. Moving forward, they're asking for his homeboy, apparently. So we're going to get into that. Make sure y'all get the likes in when y'all come into the video, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the building, man. Let's go, man. Shout out to Vania. Shout out to Caribbeans. Shout out to anybody watching overseas, man. Hey, let's get it, Marvin. Shout out Marvin Lewis in the chat, y'all. W Clifford one more time in the chat, y'all. Shout out Vanch. Shout out Vanch. What's happening, big dog? What's up, Sam? Woody, what up, man? Big Roller in the building. So let me get this document up for the rest of us, right? Because we about to be reading on this one, bro. And we got to talk about Joey, of course, going on tour with Absol. We got to talk about that also. But let's get into this court case real quick, shall we? Get the likes up in the building, man. I was talking to Jalopy earlier today. I was messaging him, and we gonna get something going, bro. We gonna get something. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, but we gonna get something going for sure, bro. Hold on. Make sure y'all get the likes up when y'all come in here, man. I appreciate everybody's support. Everybody always showing love. I'm always thankful for everybody that taps in early, man. Everybody, tell a friend to tell a friend that we are live right now, bro. Come on. It looks like they just updated this stuff again. So when I had first looked at this, let me just bring this to my screen so I can show y'all what I'm seeing here. Let me see. So taking a look at this is Drake's case via court listener, and this is the updated document. So we got a lot of stuff. This is the subpoena that they are giving for a Josh Kaplan. This is the new subpoena, and of course, the situation is very similar to Kojo. The situation is very similar to Kojo's situation when it comes to the locations and trying to subpoena this person not wanting to be subpoenaed. Obviously, nobody wants to be subpoenaed, bro. Nobody. Jury duty, just as a perfect example, nobody even wants to do jury duty when they're summoned. And then this is before I left because I went out. I had read this when I had first saw it, a little bit of it, and then when I came back, they added this. So it looks like we got more information added on top of the information that was recently put on here. So this is just a brief explanation of what is happening right now. So declaration of M. Annie Houghton Larson in support, 90 motion to serve third party Joshua Delancey, a.k.a. Josh Kaplan, by alternative means. Document filed by Aubrey Drake Graham. Plaintiff's amended Rule 26 initial disclosure number 2, Exhibit 2, UMG Rule 26A initial disclosure, Josh Kaplan subpoena, Capital Process Affidavit of Due Diligence, Nardello Affidavit of Due Diligence, and those are the agencies that Drake had used. Those are his private investigators. So we're going to check if the private investigators did their job this time and was able to find this individual the right way. Because remember the last time, these guys were trying to look for this dude, Kojo, and it didn't look like they were able to find him. I guess they just put the subpoena at the door at whatever address they thought that he was connected to and just left, bro. So it doesn't look like these private investigators, in my opinion, look like they know what they're doing. In my opinion, that's just me. Shout out Classy K in the building, man. Shout out Vibrant Numerals in the building. To me, it seems like Drake doesn't know what he's doing, but all he knows is that he needs to subpoena people. That is basically what it is, bro. But we'll see the play right now. We'll read what exactly it is that he has to do for what I am Kojo. Alicia, come on. She said, I am Kojo. I guess we're all Kojo. I guess there's a little Kojo inside all of us. Pause. No Diddy. Shout out JV. Shout out Heartbreak Kid, man. W Heartbreak Kid in the chat, y'all. Yeah, look. Once it all said and done, we're going to find out what they want from Kaplan right now. So let's dive right into it, shall we? I mean, let's spare no time. Let's just see what exactly they want from this individual. Hold on, so let's see. I got to enlarge this. It's always like small ass letters, bro. So this is the update. This is the update for this lawsuit. And we're going to go down through it. We're going to see what exactly it is that we need to go through. So Rule 26 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham, though he is undersigned counsel, hereby makes the following amended initial disclosure. These amended disclosures are based upon information reasonably available to plaintiff at present time. Plaintiff reserves the right to supplement, revise, and or correct these amended disclosures as he obtained additional information. Furthermore, plaintiff makes these amended disclosures without waiver of or prejudice to any current or future objections plaintiff may have, and plaintiff expressly reserves all objections. Nothing in these amended disclosures constitutes or is intended to constitute a waiver of any claim, right, or defense in this case or otherwise. The name and, if known, the address. So this is similar, again, like Kojo. If you were watching the lives or if you've been reading up on the documents involving Kojo, Manea, Samoa, this is the exact same thing. The private investigators had looked into the individual and the locations and information tied to this individual. but it's only based off what they were able to find. That's why the key word is if known. The name and if known, the address and telephone number of each individual likely to have a discoverable information. So we're gonna go down the list. This, like I said, this is Drake's witness list. Again, this is his witness list. These are all the people in his witness list. There was about 63 people in it. And this time we're focused on an individual named Kaplan, Josh Kaplan. So they go over that again. That was the 63 witness list that Drake had created in the beginning. We had reacted to it on this channel. You can check it out if you want. But taking a look here, it says a copy or a description by category and location of all documents, electronically store information and tangible things that are disclosing based on the current knowledge and subject to further investigation, discovery, and analysis by experts. Plaintiff hereby discloses the following categories of documents and information. Plaintiff reserves the right to amend or supplement these disclosures. Okay. A computation of each category of damages claimed by the disclosing party, who must also make available for inspection and copying as under Rule 34. The documents or other inventory material, unless privileged or protected from disclosure, on which each computation is based, including materials bearing on the nature and extent of injury suffered. Okay. Set forth in the complaint, plaintiff seeks a declaratory relief, injunctive relief, and monetary damages in the amount of the determined at trial. Plaintiff's damages are ongoing and continuing. So now they're saying that Drake is still suffering damages. Drake's damages are ongoing and continuing. Drake reserves the right to seek other damages in this action. The computation of Drake's damages requires expert testimony and discovery. Thus, the computation of damages at this stage is premature. So they're saying that he is still suffering at this time, still facing ongoing damages that are continuing at this time. But you know what's crazy is that Drake is on tour talking crazy. Drake is not, he doesn't seem like he's, facing any type of damages. Doesn't seem like he's getting harassed. It doesn't look like any of that is taking place as of right now, at least in the public eyes. It doesn't look like that at all. It says here that once discovery has been conducted and Drake's experts have analyzed damages, the computation will be provided to defendant. So what are they saying? That the plaintiff's experts have analyzed damages? So his experts are going to analyze the damages that he took? It seems like you're paying people to say why you're hurting. It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, for his defamation claim, plaintiff need not prove actual damages to establish liability because defendant's statements constituted defamation per se. Drake is entitled to recover damages in the form of nominal, compensatory, or punitive damages, attorney fees and costs, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest. So he wants them to take care of the bill. He wants them to cover all of his lawyer fees. He spent $75,000 for that private investigator. He's probably trying to recoup some of that money back that he's lost in court. He's already trying to, I bet you anything, bro. He gonna try to settle. He gonna try to settle. That's why he wanted to look at Kendrick's contracts. You want to know what number to say? Allegedly. We gonna keep it alleged, bro. Drake seeks general, actual, consequential, and special damages in an amount to be determined at trial based on expert opinion and analysis. To me, this is all money. Money. When we said that he was suing, we knew it was about money. Why are you suing the label and not Kendrick Lamar? Because they're the ones that pay you. Why do you want to look at Kendrick's contract? Because you want to know how much they pay him or whatever the contract agreements are. And now you're talking about way before the trial has even kicked off and gotten even more, like we're at the beginning stages of this trial. And Drake is already seeking general and actual, consequential, and special damages in the amount to be determined at trial. So he's already asking for money necessarily. For his harassment claim, plaintiffs entitled to recover damages in the form of nominal compensatory and punitive damage, attorney fees, and costs. Prejudgment again, money, money, money. That's all it's ever been about. All it's ever been about is money. Or inspection of copy. Okay, so we're gonna get to the next page. So this is basically him just saying that he wants to be compensated over lawyer fees and everything that he's been putting in up until this point. So let's check out the Kaplan subpoena, because this is where he starts to subpoena this individual. Get the likes up, y'all. Y'all go ahead and like the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we are live right now. Go ahead and also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, Cash App at the top right corner of the video, and it's at the pinned at the comment section. Merch at the description of the video. I appreciate everybody that's in here, y'all. If you can't, I appreciate if you just like the video. It helps out more than you know. I'm just waiting for this other page to load. Get the likes up, y'all. I appreciate everybody that's in the building, man. How we doing in here, bro? My bad. I was on the other page. Support is free. Like the button, man. It's free, bro. It's free. Just hit the like button. For seasoning, Dot's food is crazy. Dot's food is crazy. Morton salt, crazy. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Oh, they want me to pay for this shit. Hold on. We gotta find it now. We gotta find it now. Imaginary lawsuit is crazy. Get the likes up, y'all. Hold on. We gotta find this now. Drake's legal team has been unable to serve Joshua Delancey, aka Kaplan, with a subpoena. Josh Delancey was named as a witness who is in possession of relevant documents and information for the violation of New York general business law, claiming Drake's amended complaint. The claim centers around deceptive business practices allegedly used by UMG and UMG's employees for the promotion of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. As such, Drake's legal team is requesting that the court issue an order for Josh Delancey to be served with the subpoena by alternative means. To support their motion, Drake's attorney has filed a memorandum of law and declaration. Both documents are linked below. So we got the documents linked below. Let's see what we got here. Notice of motion for leave to serve a Rule 45 subpoena on third party Joshua Delancey, aka Josh Kaplan, by alternative means. Please take notice that the persist. So, from my understanding, from when someone had sent me this, they were saying that they had tried to subpoena him in 5 different locations, similar to the Kojo situation, but they're also saying that this individual was close to Kojo as well. Let me see if I can pull this up here, because they're trying to make me pay for that shit. The thing is with Court Listener, where everybody's getting this information, some people pay like the extra fee so they could see that shit. I ain't paying shit to get on the government website. Hell no. But I know a way to get some shit. Hold on. Get the likes up, y'all. Let's see. Another person on the witness list that they're trying to subpoena. Hell nah, bro. They crazy. Hold on, let's see this other thing that they updated. Let's see what this is. On January 15th, plaintiff commenced this action against UMG Recording, asserting claims for defamation, harassment, yada, yada, yada. Plaintiff identified Mr. Kaplan as a relevant witness. Plaintiff has identified Josh Kaplan as a witness likely to have information relevant to the plaintiff's deceptive business practices claims. Mr. Kaplan is listed as a witness on plaintiff's initial disclosure. Based on the information available to plaintiff today, plaintiff believes that Mr. Kaplan possesses knowledge relating to UMG's use of covert tactics to promote the defamatory material. This is exactly what he accused Kojo of. For example, plaintiff believes that Mr. Kaplan was involved in directing payments and or financial incentives from UMG to third parties involved in online botting to artificially inflate the streaming numbers of the recording. Not defined herein. Plaintiffs say amended. Okay. Plaintiff also believes Mr. Kaplan was involved in directing payments and or financial incentives from UMG to third parties for the purpose of spreading the defamatory material online, including but not limited to through third-party podcasters and streamers. Now, this is the problem. This is going back to the No Life Shack situation. And I don't mean to like hammer this away and always bring up No Life Shack or whatever. But remember, streamers were brought up in the conversation. Streamers were named in Drake's complaint originally and also left there in the amended complaint. Drake believes that Mr. Kaplan engaged in this behavior through and or in connection with relationship with Ramon Alvarez Smickel. Now, remember what we talked about when we talked about Ramon Alvarez Smickel. Hold on. This was very small. My apologies. My apologies. So let's do that one more time. Mr. Kaplan was involved in the plaintiff. Drake believes that Mr. Kaplan was involved in directing payments or financial incentives from UMG to third parties for the purpose of spreading defamatory material online. An example, going to third-party websites like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, including but not limited to third-party podcasts and streamers. This is the problem. And I'm going to get to that part right now. In a tactic known as seeding. I've never heard that phrase used before, but let's keep it going. Plaintiff believes that Mr. Kaplan engaged in this behavior through and or in connection with his relationship with Ramon Alvarez Smickel, the executive vice president and head of digital marketing of UMG's Interscope Records. Now, do you guys remember when I had talked about Ramon Alvarez Smickel and the smear campaign that they were trying to do online? Now they're trying to put Mr. Kaplan in those same allegations that were just allegations and narratives that were created on Twitter. But the only way that they could subpoena Mr. Kaplan is if they put him with Alvarez, if they put him on the same boat as Mr. Smickel. Now they have a reason to subpoena him. It's so dumb, bro, because the only reason why they're only looking into Ramon Alvarez Smickel is because of defamation claims that were made. It's because of rumors that were made up on Twitter. Look at this. This is why I hate the judge subpoena doing subpoenas on these guys, because this is just Drake reaching. He is just reaching. Let me see. I had to use this as a point of reference. Like, I had to get my video as a point of reference because I had all the screenshots on here. it all goes back to this, and we'll go and look at Lucian's response, because Lucian had brought this up in the first place as well. This website, bro, on Twitter, this account on Twitter is the reason why we are talking about Ramon Alvarez Smickel in this way in the first place. Like I said, they had brought up the witness list the first time. And then this account had came out. And they said proof that NFR podcast was paid to slander Drake by an agency that represents Interscope/UMG. This agency also bought it, Not Like Us, and many other hits. NFR lawyers have tried to sweep this under the rug, but I can't be silenced. Now, remember, this account was a smear campaign account, propaganda account, always trying to twist the narrative. And this narrative involved Ramon Alvarez Smickel. Now, moving forward, while they're looking for Kaplan, they're trying to put him on the same boat as Ramon Alvarez Smickel in these allegations, at least the allegations that Drake is trying to make. This account was spreading this narrative that he was paying NFR podcasts money, sending them invoices, but these invoices weren't real. We've already talked about this. This wasn't facts at all. This was all just made up. He wanted them to look like a guilty party. He wanted them to look guilty by making these fake invoices saying that Ramon Alvarez Smickel was paying the NFR podcast 30 grand. But with this same narrative, and the only reason why I bring this up again is because now they're trying to put Kaplan associated with Mr. Smickel. Plaintiff believes that Mr. Kaplan engaged in this behavior through and or in connection with his relationship with Ramon Alvarez Smickel, the executive vice president and head of digital marketing at Interscope, as well as John Janik. But if you remember what the response was from Lucian Grange, it was very important. Let me see where it was at. It was right here. No. Remember Lucian's response? He said, it's also, hold on. It was emojis. Or was it misspelling? It said, also makes no sense whatsoever. I run a publicly traded multi-billion-dollar company. Hold on. Marketing, production, CEO, its own management structure. Collectively, these businesses issue tens of thousands of releases. Are farcical. Given my role, I accustom and unfortunately to personal attacks, and further recognize that frequent strategy of UMG's litigation opponent is to attempt to waste my and UMG's time and resources with discovery of the sort that Drake is seeking here, either in an attempt to gain media attention or an effort to force some kind of commercial renegation of financial concessions. But given Drake's motion, I would like to make it quite clear that I never heard Not Like Us. But in this statement, he says that he thought that Drake was just saying shit that he found on the internet. A lot of references to what he was saying in this lawsuit were a whole bunch of misspellings and emojis and speculation that he found on the internet. What I'm trying to say is this is just one of them. And now they're using allegations and narratives that they found on the internet to subpoena people online, which is crazy just to think about. Like, you are using narratives on the internet to try to subpoena people. Do you understand how crazy that is? Imagine if someone made a lie about you on the internet and someone is going to court and trying to take you to court, and they're using those lies on the internet to bring you in court, bro. That's the craziest shit. And I've always said this rumor, bro. I always said the speculation. I think that they're pushing these narratives out there so that way, in some way, they could get them to go to court, bro. It's just obvious when you see it in front of your face like this. They gonna subpoena the Cash App is crazy. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, y'all. So let's get back into it, right? So let's see. Mr. Alvarez Smickel is listed as a witness on both plaintiff and UMG's initial disclosures. 1 and 2, Mr. Janik is listed as a witness on plaintiff's initial disclosures. Drake has repeatedly attempted to serve a subpoena on Mr. Kaplan, requesting 8 categories of documents. The requests in the subpoena are targeted at discovering evidence of UMG's use of bots and payola, seeding, and other covert methods to promote the defamatory material. Plaintiff has made exhaustive efforts to locate and serve Mr. Kaplan without success. It sounds familiar again. Don't tell me that Mr. Kaplan is a ghost, y'all. Don't tell me that Mr. Kaplan is another ghost. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm sure he's a real person. They got his first and last name before they got Kojo's like real name. Let's just be honest. But despite repeated efforts to serve Mr. Kaplan at multiple locations over the course of more than 2 months and spending thousands of dollars, plaintiff has been unable to serve the subpoena on Mr. Kaplan. Bro, whoever's his private investigators are horrible, bro. They're dog shit. Like, how can you not be able to find anybody? So you mean to tell me you just can't find anyone? Is it normal? I mean, if someone was looking for me, bro, I'm ducking them. If they're trying to serve me, they ain't serving me. Let's just keep it a bean. I'm dodging that shit like the plague, bro. Specifically, beginning on around May 30th of 2025, plaintiff attempted to serve the subpoena on Mr. Kaplan more than a dozen times at 5 addresses in 2 states. That sounds familiar. It sounds like Kojo. With the assistance of 2 different firms. Plaintiff employed both Nardello and the other firm at Capital Process Services, a well-established processes server, in efforts to find Mr. Kaplan. Look, Drake, these private investigators are buns, bro. Nardello law firm, whatever it is, Capital Process, all of those private investigators that you hired, bro, are ass. So you mean to tell me that they can't find Kaplan and they can't find Kojo? And they went to 2 different states, 5 different addresses, and they still can't find them, bro. These private investigators are finessing the hell out of Drake, bro. You cannot be serious. I'm only saying this, bro, because how are they always avoiding these private investigators? How are they avoiding getting served, bro? Like, how do you go to bro? And I'm trying to paint a picture, bro. If you're looking for 2 people and you went to one state to another, I am not leaving shit at the door. I am making sure that you are here, bro. I did not travel all this way to find a ghost, bro. I am not going out of my way to try to, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, what the hell is this? What are you paying them, bro? 75 grand and they can't find nobody. They can't find Kojo. They can't find Kaplan. I think they're allergic to anybody's name that starts with a K. They got to subpoena the subpoena. They got to subpoena the subpoenas, bro. They got to investigate Drake's private investigators, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. How are you going to lose another 75 grand, bro? These private investigators are buns. 75 grand for not even doing their job. That is crazy, bro. What's crazier was that I thought that they would find Kaplan a lot easier than Kojo. Kojo was another story. Kojo is a whole other story within itself. Going over the name, finding out the locations and all that stuff. That was different. Kaplan should be a lot easier. Kaplan should be a walk in the park, right? Especially if he's cool with the dude Smickel, Ramon Alvarez Smickel. If they're business partners, you should just go to Interscope and find them there. Bro throwing money away. Shout out Standardemics, bro. TV. I see you on Twitter, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Are the private investigators the mole? The PIs are the mole? Let me find out. Are the PIs the mole? Now, let me find out, bro. Let me find out. Oh my god. So let's see. Okay, so this is when this is story time, y'all. So let's see how the private investigators try to look into Kaplan. Let's see how they did it. I'm gonna go over how they did it. So this is on May 30th, May 31st, through June the 2nd. Capital process. The private investigators attempted to serve Kaplan 4 times at his apartment located on yada yada, right? In Miami, Florida. Plaintiff identified this address as Mr. Kaplan's current address based on his telephone number and vehicle registration record. Capital process knocked on the door of the apartment, but no one answered. Capital process then spoke to the apartment leasing officer, who confirmed that Joshua Delancey lives in the apartment, but the lease is over at the end of June. On May 31st, Capital Process again knocked on the door to the apartment, but again, no one answered. Isn't it weird? Isn't it strange that this is how I feel like something is going on. How are the private investigators showing up on May 30th and the 31st, and then they talk to the leasing officer, and they're saying that he lives here, but he's leaving in June? So you mean to tell me 2 days before he's supposed to, his lease is up, 2 days before his lease is up, they show up? That's convenient as fuck. That is super convenient. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just divine time. Maybe it's just divine time, right? But if people are looking for you and you leave, and if your lease is up in these 2 days, I'm gone. I'm out of here. So if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, right? They said they went back on June 2nd. And notice how they don't go on June 1st. They go back on June 2nd. I just think it's interesting how these private investigators are always just missing the open window by a little bit. On June 2nd, a front desk staff member informed Capital Process that Mr. Kaplan had advised apartment staff that he would move out on May 31st, a month before his lease expiration. Capital Process again knocked on the door to the apartment, but no one answered. So let's just paint this in our heads. They show up on the 30th and 31st. The people at the office say he's going to leave on the 31st because his lease is up in June. So around this time, if he's moving out, you should be able to catch him. You should be able to catch him on his way out. If his lease is up in June, and they're saying that he's going to move out on the 31st and you were there, how did you miss him? How did you miss him? You would at least see him move his shit out the apartment, right? Some people also move early. No, that is true though. But if they're saying that he's going to move out on the 31st and they were there for those days, how did they not see him? It says, a month before his lease expiration, Capital Process again knocked on his door to the apartment, but no one answered. They went back on the 5th. On June 5th, a leasing officer informed Capital Process that Mr. Kaplan had moved out on June 4th. They just missed him by 1 day. I'm not saying that the private investigators are in on anything, but it just seems like they keep missing by a hair. They keep just missing it by a little bit, by this much. You show up on June 5th, he leaves on June 4th. He's supposed to move out of the apartments on June 1st. You show up on May 30th. and the 31st, and you couldn't catch him. It's like, what? How are you guys missing him? I'm not gonna say that they're in on it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I am saying, why did they show up on the 5th and not the 4th? It's just a little weird, bro. Just a little weird. Just wanted to point that out. It is a little fishy. We're gonna keep it alleged on that one. So on June 5th, the leasing officer informed Capital Process that Mr. Kaplan had moved out on June 4th and showed a photo of the empty apartment. So they took a picture of all his shit gone. According to the leasing officer, Mr. Kaplan did not provide a forwarding address. Why would he? You know, it's not going to be on here, but I'm pretty sure the leasing officer told Mr. Kaplan that they were looking for him. Now, it could be possible that Mr. Kaplan got a heads up from his leasing officer. He knows him he pays rent to him every month. He's talking to him. He probably called him and told him that there was these guys looking for you, and he's probably cool with the leasing officer. I could put that up as an idea, right? There could be a chance that the leasing officer gave Kaplan a heads up, and that's why they were always missing him every time they showed up to the apartments. Furthermore, plaintiff found through public searches that Mr. Kaplan was sued by his landlord at address 1 on June 4th for failure to pay rent. Oh, so maybe they're not cool. I spoke too early. This was voluntarily dismissed on July 2nd because Mr. Kaplan voluntarily vacated the address. Mr. Kaplan and his mother, Dina Kaplan, are both listed as residents of address 1 in the lease contract filed in the June 2025 lawsuit. So he's not cool with the lease. So they were just missing him, because if the dude put Kaplan in the lawsuit for not paying rent, then he wasn't going to give him any warning about people looking for him. Now, this is strange, y'all. It seems like they're just missing him by a hair. And no one's in favor of this guy. If your landlord had sued you, you were sued by your landlord at the first address. So if people are looking for you, he's not going to give a fuck if they find you or not. He's not going to call you and give you a heads up. These private investigators just kept missing him, bro. It's just weird. I'm trying to find a logical explanation, but it's just weird how the private investigators just keep missing this guy. They're purposely missing them so they can make it sound worse. Now we scammed the land. I guess, bro. I guess. They ain't telling them shit. I guess that, bro. Have you ever thought your investigators were working for me? Not for real, right? That's what it feels like, bro. It just seems like they're trying to drag this shit out to get paid longer. Imagine if the private investigators know exactly where he's at, but they just refuse to see him at the right time. Imagine they're just missing him on purpose by a day. That'd be hilarious. Allegedly, I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying it just seems weird. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to miss him by one day? This is the first address. We got to read what happened at the second address. You see, when they were looking for Kojo, it was a lot different. So on address, I'm not going to read that address. I don't want to show it. But they go to the second address for Kaplan's brother, also located in Miami, Florida, and directed Capital Process to attempt to serve Mr. Kaplan at this new address. If I read anything that seems fishy, if they're just missing him, I'm going to call Cap on the PIs, bro. I don't give a fuck. Mr. Kaplan at this new address. On June 10th and 11th, Capital Process attempted to serve Mr. Kaplan at this location Mr. Kaplan's brother was living at. During the June 10th service, no one answered the door, and Capital Process could not locate Mr. Kaplan or his brother. Capital Process observed a woman on the balcony upstairs and called out to her, explaining the reason for coming to the address. But she went inside and did not speak with Capital Process. That's a real woman right there. Capital Process returned the next day on June 11th and spoke with the leasing office director, who informed Capital Process that Mr. Kaplan's brother had moved out in October 2024 and did not provide any forwarding address. Oh my God. Again, bro? We're chasing the ghost again? Private investigators need to do better, bro. Why even put this in the lawsuit? I guess because it's his brother's address, but nobody lives there. Why didn't you just ask the leasing office in the first place? Why are you wasting time? Now I feel like they're wasting time and money on purpose so they could get paid. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel. That's just me. That's just me. It doesn't seem like they're really trying at all to look for these guys. How are you a private investigator and can't find anyone? Not for real, bro. Like, who hired these guys? Who hired these guys, bro? Ain't no way. How are you just missing this shit? On June 13th, Capital Process attempted to serve Mr. Kaplan at another address in Florida, which identified this address as associated with the company SI Group LLC, which is registered under Josh Delancey. Now we're going to the LLCs. This is an LLC that Kaplan owns. Kaplan was previously sued by the same landlord on July 23rd for failure to pay rent. Address, well, okay, so we just read that. We learned that this location is associated with the company Restoration USA, which appeared to be closed. Capital Process approached the neighboring business and spoke with a man in his 50s who stated that he had been at the address for 25 years and never heard of the name S1 Group LLC or Joshua Delancey. What? Capital Process approached the neighboring business and spoke with a man in his 50s, and he had been living there for 25 years and never heard of the name S1 Group LLC or Joshua Delancey. What the fuck, bro? Wait, so you mean to tell me that when these guys, because this is similar to Kojo's LLC. Remember when we looked up Kojo's LLC, we didn't find a building, we didn't find an office building, we didn't find a firm, we didn't find anything related to Kojo. When we looked up Kojo's address, it took us to garbage cans. Like really think about that for a second. When we were investigating Kojo in these locations that these private investigators had looked up, it took us to trash bins, to garbage cans. If you put the address exactly how it is, Google Map is going to show you the back alley where the trash cans are at. And I thought to myself, well, that's weird because there's no building. You would expect the building to be there if it's under an LLC. But now I'm starting to see the play. When they make an LLC, when any of these individuals make an LLC, they don't make a LLC that's actually tied to an office building. They don't make an LLC that's tied to a legit address. They just put an LLC and they put a random address listed under their LLC. It's basically, it's just a fake address that they put for their LLC. It's not a legit one. How are you going to go to a place that's under their LLC and you run into a man in his 50s and he said that he's been living there for 25 years? Again, another address that leads to nowhere that's tied to another LLC. I'm starting to realize that when these executives or when these people that own LLCs, they never put a real address. I'm just starting to understand that for what it is. They don't put real addresses on it. I think they know exactly how to avoid a subpoena. Big shout out to Juan for the $5 donation. W1 in the chat, y'all. W1. Let's go, man. W1 in the chat, y'all. If anybody is using an LLC and they tell you to look up the address, I'm starting to think that it's not going to take you anywhere, bro. I'm starting to think they're just putting random locations connected to their LLC so that way they could avoid any of this shit. Because that's exactly what happened with Kojo and the multiple LLCs that are under his name. It never took you to a legit location. It just took you to trash can alleyways and all that shit. It took him to an old man's address, and he's never heard of them. Capital Process also approached a woman in her 30s who rented a location nearby, and she also stated that she never heard of S1 Group LLC or Joshua Delancey. Let's just keep in mind, further going into the future, if anybody has an LLC and they look up the address, 90% chance it's not going to be a legit location. It's going to be a random location that's just going to throw the PIs off. We'll keep it alleged, but I'm starting to think that that's an actual thing that's going on here. It's the same thing that happened with Kojo, and now it's happening with Kaplan. And I think this is going to be an ongoing pattern that we're going to see with the LLCs. We'll keep it alleged, but let's keep it going. So they go to a fifth address. On June 18th, hold on. Big shout out to the Don Austin for the $35 donation, y'all. W Austin in the chat, y'all. W the Don in the chat, y'all. So Mr. Kaplan, so on June 18th, they go to this location. Capital Process attempted to serve Mr. Kaplan 7 times at a home located in New Jersey, an address plaintiff believed to be associated with Mr. Kaplan's father. Plaintiff later learned that the address for appears to be outdated address of Mr. Kaplan's father. Again, another address that leads to nowhere. These private investigators, bro, are buns, bro. Like, they are dog shit. How are you not able to find anybody? How? And this is my point that I was trying to make when I was going over the Kojo thing. You guys are just looking up public records, public information about these individuals, hoping that it would land and hoping that you could find them. You are not doing anything. You are not trying to find anything resourceful for you to find these people. You are literally just going on the internet, typing these people's names and hoping to find an address. If that's what it takes to be a private investigator, bro, I might as well just sign up and be one also. Because it looks like they're making a bag off of Drake. I might as well just do the same shit, bro. I swear to God. I might as well just be a private investigator, look up people shit on the internet and tell people I couldn't find them. If that's how I'm going to get paid, that's how they're getting paid. So why shouldn't I? That is crazy, bro. They are literally unable to find anybody. I think they're lying about not finding them to make it look like they are evading. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I think literally, bro, I think that they are just trying to bullshit time so they could get paid off Drake's time. Let's see this one. Capital Process attempted to serve Mr. Kaplan 4 times at the home located on blank. Okay, this is the New Jersey one. So we go to the part 6 right here. On August 8th, 9th, and 12th. Think about that. That's like a whole week at this last address. Capital Process attempted to serve Mr. Kaplan 3 times in the location in New Jersey again. An address that plaintiff recently identified as currently associated with Mr. Kaplan's father. Did I just read that? Oh, I think there's another one. On August 8th, Capital Process gained access to the secured building at this address and knocked on the door of the apartment unit. Although Capital Process heard noise inside the residence, no one answered the door. On August 9th, Capital Process again knocked on the door and received no answer, nor was Capital Process able to gather information from the neighboring units. On August 12th, Capital Process was unable to gain access to the secured building, and there were no neighbors coming or going into the building to follow behind. Additionally, plaintiff believes the email address imsgroup.io is associated with Mr. Kaplan. Counsel for plaintiff sent an email to Josh Blank notifying Mr. Kaplan of the subpoena. Counsel for plaintiff did not receive a bounce back or response. And the key word is that Drake believes the email address is this. That's the key word. He believes it is, but we don't know if it is or not. It could be, but we don't know. This is information that Drake had gave them. So Drake gave them this information. And they emailed this guy about the subpoena through this email. But how does Drake have this email in the first place? And let's really think about that. How does Drake even have this guy's email? If he's insinuating that this guy does botting activity or defamatory or whatever, why does he have his email address? Drake also believes, okay, I'm not going to put that. Mr. Kaplan, that number is listed on the electronic signature record of the lease contract filed on June 2025. Lawsuit for Mr. Kaplan. Counsel for plaintiff called the number, but there was no answer, and the voicemail recording did not identify anyone by that name. Plaintiff is not presently aware that Mr. Kaplan is represented by counsel, let alone counsel who would consent service on his behalf. Drake has undertaken extensive and expensive attempts to serve Mr. Kaplan through traditional means, all of which have been unsuccessful. As described above, Mr. Kaplan may be attempting to evade service, as without leaving any forwarding address, Mr. Kaplan moved out of his confirmed address a month before the end of his lease, just days after plaintiff began attempting to service the address. Now they're saying that he's evading. This is fucked up because they're saying he's evading, but the real story is that he was going through it with his landlord because he wasn't paying rent, and they agreed to settle whatever the fuck they were going through if he decided to leave the next month. It just so happens that they're looking for him at the end of the month, but they're going to spin it like he's evading services, when in reality, it's because of a life situation that he got into with his landlord is why he's moving out. But they word it this way to make it seem like he's evading the service that they're trying to fulfill on him. Only so that way they could get a subpoena on him. Notice the wording, bro. The way that they word this shit is the reason why they are subpoenaing, doing a subpoena on him now. Subpoenaing, is that a word? I don't know. But anyways, Mr. Kaplan may be attempting to evade, but in the paperwork that we just read, he was going through it with his landlord because he didn't pay, and he had to move out the next month to avoid any type of issues with his landlord. They're trying to spin it like he moved out because they were coming around. That's not the case, bro. How is he not going to pay rent for a whole month because he knows that you're coming after him? That's basically saying he had to go through it with his landlord intentionally because he knew you guys were coming. That doesn't make any sense. But they say it like this so that way they could service him and subpoena him. They'll make it seem like we are trying to, but we're unable to because he's evading us. But that's not the case. So I just read this shit. That's not what happened. You guys are just unsuccessful at doing your job, and now you're just going to the court and asking them to do their job, do your job for you. That's what's going on. Who's Mr. Kaplan? Anybody just joining in right now? Mr. Kaplan is a guy that Drake is accusing the same shit that he's accusing Kojo of. Defamatory material is responsible for defaming him, boosting the numbers, payola, all that shit. The only problem is that they can't find him, just like Kojo. Without leaving any forwarding address, Mr. Kaplan moved out. Mr. Kaplan did not appear or otherwise respond to the June 25th lawsuit or the July 24th lawsuit, and he did not have any counsel or record in either of these lawsuits. Of his confirmed address a month before the end of his lease, and just like I said, just days before the plaintiff began attempting to service on the address. Therefore, plaintiff now respectfully, and this is the point that I'm saying, now respectfully requests the court permit plaintiff to serve Kaplan through alternative means, reasonably calculated to ensure that Mr. Kaplan receives actual notice of the subpoena. And if you ask me, this is my opinion. I really think that they are trying to act like they did their job. And they're trying to put a spin on it and act like he was evading them this whole time when that wasn't the case. You guys are just horrible at doing your job. The PIs, Drake's private investigators, can't do their job. Let's just keep it 100. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're fucking stupid. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. How can you not do your job, bro? And then you're going to say that he evaded you because he had to move out just naturally. Like that was just something that was natural. That's just something that transpired, and you guys just so happened to catch him at the end of the month when he's about to move out because of a situation that he got into with his landlord. He's not evading you. But when you spin it like he is, you're only doing that because you want to act like you did your job in trying to serve him. So when you try to ask the court if they could subpoena him instead of you, they could just say yes and approve it. And that's the part that is so annoying. These guys are acting like they're doing their job, and then when they write it in the paperwork, they make it seem like he's evading them, knowing that you guys didn't even do shit. You just want the government to do the job that you couldn't do, that Drake is paying you to do. Then PI's just lazy as fuck. I'm telling you, bro, they are lazy. Specifically, plaintiff respectfully requests to leave to serve Mr. Kaplan with the subpoena through each of the following methods: by alternative means. And then they put all the locations, by email, through text, lease contract, by calling Mr. Kaplan at the same telephone number and notifying that he has been served with the subpoena at the physical addresses. So the argument: the court should permit plaintiff to serve Mr. Kaplan by alternative means because service by traditional means is impracticable, including because Mr. Kaplan may be acting to evade. That's what I'm saying, bro. May be acting to evade. Look how they word this shit, bro. Notice how they word these things. 75 grand, you better do better than this. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, you want to start a business, bro? Let's start a private investigator business. We can make 75 grand just bullshitting and looking at shit on the internet. And then if we fail, we could just tell the court to do the job for us. That's a bag, bro. They are making a bag off of Drake. So I could get paid, pretend to do my job, and if I fail, I tell the court to do the job for me. That's a crazy bag. That's a crazy bag, bro. I like how they're just trying to act like he's invading them on purpose, and they're only wording it that way so the court could serve the subpoena. Let's just be real. This is going to be so annoying, bro. An individual located within a judicial district in the United States may be served by the following state of law, yada, yada, yada. Okay. A court may direct alternative methods of service where a service by traditional means is impracticable. The meaning of impracticable depends on the facts and circumstances of the particular case. In general, plaintiff must make some showing that the other prescribed methods of service could not be made. Okay. A plaintiff can demonstrate the service by conventional means. Is it practical by the okay? So they're talking about serving them. Let's see. A service on Mr. Kaplan through traditional methods impractical. See Sirius XM radio. As a detailed above, plaintiff has attempted to service through traditional methods on Mr. Kaplan for more than 2 months on multiple addresses and in multiple states. Plaintiff has exhausted efforts to obtain information regarding Mr. Kaplan's current residence. Plaintiff is not presently aware of Mr. Kaplan's being represented by counsel, let alone counsel who would consent to the service on his behalf. Service by alternate means reasonably calculated to assure by subpoena, and this is when they subpoena him. Okay, so for the foregoing reasons, plaintiff respectfully requests that the court enter an order authorizing plaintiff to serve Mr. Kaplan with copies of the subpoena through the alternative means. So I see the play. I know exactly what they're doing. The private investigators are acting like they're doing their job, and they're acting like Kaplan was evading them. They were acting like he was dodging them. He was ducking them when that wasn't the case at all. They just so happen to be horrible at their job. And when they can't do their job, they tell the court to finish the job for them. If you ask me, bro, I think these private investigators are just trying to make money off of Drake, bro. It's clear as day that they don't give a fuck about finding the person at all. They will go to the locations. They will try to search the locations. And if all else fails, they'll just tell the court to subpoena the person because they just suck at doing their job. That's just the point that I'm getting, bro. So let's see. So they subpoenaed him. They subpoenaed him over bullshit. Over bullshit, man. To be honest with you. And the only reason, let me go back to this original statement right here. Let's see. Was it Spickle? Hit the likes up, y'all. There we go. And let's just be clear that the only reason plaintiff believes that Mr. Kaplan engaged in this behavior through and or in connection with the relationship with Ramon Alvarez Smickel, the executive vice president and head of digital marketing at UMG. Like I had said previously, on Twitter, there was an account that was claiming that Ramon Alvarez Smickel was paying NFR podcasts to talk good about Kendrick Lamar. You can see here Ramon Alvarez Smickel. And then you see here NFR podcast. The only reason why they're involving Kaplan is because of the allegations and smear campaigns that are on Twitter involving Ramon Alvarez Smickle that was made by smear campaign and propaganda accounts on Twitter as of recently. They are trying to put these people in a subpoena over bullshit that was made on the internet, bro. And when they were responding to Drake's request, they said a majority of his complaints were on the internet from misspellings and accounts with emojis. Like they were really just saying that all of his shit comes from speculation on the internet. And this is just another one. What bothers me most about this is that they are trying to get people subpoenaed, and their explanation out of everything is just bullshit that they found on the internet. That is the craziest thing to me. I didn't know that you could subpoena somebody over Twitter rumors. Twitter rumors to run a lawsuit is a complete joke. They are using Twitter propaganda to subpoena people in court. Isn't that fucking crazy, bro? Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then that's what makes me think. Is Drake in on all of these narratives on Twitter? Or is he just so gullible to believe these narratives that are made up online? You see what I'm saying? Like, is he reading this like me and you and is like getting like, is he believing it? Or is he the one that's putting this on the internet? Damn, bro, my blunt got all dry. Everybody hit a bowl, man. Roll a blunt, do your thing. So we read the document, bro. And that was basically it. The rest of the shit I got to pay for, I ain't going to pay for that shit. Hell no. But for what I'm getting, he's getting fucked over. Fucking hot than a bitch, bro. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out Voice for a Reason. Shout out Rose God. Shout out King Hammer in the building, man. Shout out King Hammer in the building, bro. Shout out everybody that's in here. That was a pretty good read, man. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than I thought, but I wasn't mad at it. Someone said our president uses X, so I guess it's legit. Fuck no, man. The dumbest shit in the world, bro. Imagine going to court because of some bullshit that somebody made up on Twitter. Imagine somebody takes you to court because of some bullshit that you read on Twitter, bro. That is fucking crazy. Where's your point of reference? This guy on Twitter with the handle Young Dagger Dick, that's my point of reference. Like, what is your reference for this today? On Twitter by this account named OVO Docket. No NDA. What? Like, the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, let's just get real here. What's your point of reference? Academics TV on Twitter. They said it's true. It got to be true. OVO Shannon. Like, what's your point of reference? The Twitter account with the handle OVO Shannon. That should be crazy, man. Some nerd from Australia. Stupid, man. Oh my god. Everybody hit a ball. That was a good read. Every time I read the stories about the private investigators looking up the right, hold on, let me put it back here. Every time I read the stories about the private investigators looking into the addresses, I always try to picture it in my head like, you guys really think that he's avoiding y'all, right? Like, you're out of your fucking mind, bro. If Kaplan's landlord said that they had a beef, that they were going to sue each other over rent because he didn't pay it, and they settled on him moving out, how is that evading? How is he evading you? It doesn't make sense, bro. They're just going to say that he's evading them so that way they could subpoena him. The real criminals are the private investigators for acting like they're doing their job. I'm going to be real. That is crazy, bro. I swear to God, man. Make sure y'all get the likes up, y'all. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Shout out Deborah for the $5 donation. W Deborah in the chat, y'all. Keep doing your thing. I will. Thank you, Deborah. W Deborah in the chat, y'all. Let's go, Deborah. Hey, man. I said it again, and I'll say it again. These private investigators don't know what the fuck they're doing, bro. And I'll say that in my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You could call me dumb, but I'm just going to say it for what it is, bro. They are collecting a bag off of Drake. They are acting like they are doing their job. And when it comes to finding someone, they can't find someone. And then they'll put it on paper that they're avoiding them just so that way the court could subpoena them. It looks like they're just trying to get money. It doesn't look like they're trying to look for anybody, or at least trying to do so. All the addresses that they looked up, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. We could probably just find those addresses on the internet just like they did. There is no way that someone could be this bad at looking for people. How about he's not trying to be homeless and he's got real shit to deal with? Who is Steak? Oh, yeah, I was telling you. Steak is the company. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. I forgot about that. Drake going at war with his gambling company. That's thank you. I forgot to bring that up. So let's talk about that real quick, right? I think I have it saved here. So these were text messages from Drake. Hold on. Let's talk about that real quick. So it says here that Drake is, it looks like Drake is on something, bro. This is him texting in a chat that belongs to Trainwrecks. If you don't know who Trainwrecks is, he's a dude over there at Kick. He's known for all his gambling shit. He was on live stream with Aiden Ross, Drake, XQC, all this shit, right? And in these messages, Drake is calling out Eddie. If I'm correct, Eddie is the guy that deals with Stake. Stake is the gambling website. Kick is the streaming website. They all go hand in hand because you could gamble on Kick freely. You can't gamble on Twitch. You could gamble on Kick. And in this conversation, they're shitting on one of the executives by the name of Eddie. So this is Eddie, and I guess they have him like as a fucking, I guess they were making, like he was making fun of him, bro. Straight up. So look. He calls Eddie a snake. Now remember when we read the contract with UMG? Remember when we were reading the contract with UMG, they said they got Drake in a 360 deal. They got Drake in a 360 deal, right? So this explains the anger that Drake feels about these deals that he has with Kick and Stake. Because now, from what it looks like Drake is obsessed with gambling because he's trying to get a max win so that way he don't worry about his contract. He could find other ways to make money. However, he keeps disrespecting this guy, Eddie, because he believes that Eddie keeps fucking him when he gambles. So it's set, and we all know this, bro. Gambling websites, take it for what you will, they are there to rip you off, bro. Like the house always wins. Let's just be real. The house always wins, right? He's a pawn to these companies. The thing is that he thinks that he could make money off of these guys, but these guys are just fucking him over, just like the record deals, just like UMG, just like Lucien, and all of the other people. He thought that he could go to Stake, get money off of Stake, win all of their shit, so that way he don't got to work, that way he don't got to make Iceman. Let's just be real, bro. The only reason why he hasn't made Iceman is because he's gambling. And this is where he shows all of his frustration. He said, fuck this goof. W's for my brother Train tonight. Only W's. Hold on. He says, if Stake is the Warriors, I am Steph Curry. We win chips. Hold on. We win chips for the last how many years? The owner gets rich as fuck and make us run after practice, still eat grabba bars for meals, and take the Greyhound bus to games. Fucking goofinos. Whatever that means. But Drake is basically saying that he works hard for Stake. He tries everything he can to promote Stake. And at the end of the day, they end up fucking him over. But he's only saying that because he can't win on their own gambling website. He gambles for them on their site, and they fuck him over every time. But it makes more sense when you realize what Lucien said in his statement. They own Drake. Drake doesn't own his catalog. He sold his catalog. He doesn't own his music. They got him on a 360 deal. So when you look at Drake getting mad at Stake, it's only because he's realizing he's in the same position with them that he's in with UMG. That's what I'm saying, bro. None of the money that he has is his. And he's mad that when he gambles on their site right after promoting it, he can't hit a max win. That's why he's always saying, I need a max win. I need a max win. But realistically, he really does need one because he doesn't own his catalog. He's in a 360 deal. And the people at Stake that he promotes keep fucking him over every time he uses their site to gamble. And he'll publicly shit on the owner of Stake with Trainwreck in his chat to let people know how he feels. He said, fuck Bijan is on a boat with Leonardo DiCaprio tripping on ketamine, wearing on running shoes, and the worst shades known to man. You are the Jordan, he's talking to Trainwrecks, and I am Steph. The point is, Bijan is getting a piggyback from Tobey Maguire from Ibiza. The fuck? What the fuck was that? Hold on. It's getting a piggyback from Tobey Maguire and Ibiza is crazy. Max these goofinos tonight. Oh, okay. So he's happy. He's happy that because if you guys don't know, Trainwrecks is a degenerate gambler also, and he wins more than Drake. So in the context of these messages, he wants Trainwrecks to finesse the fuck out of Stake. He wants them to get a max win, get them for all of their money, take their money, take the house's money, take the money that the guys are trying to fuck me over. I can't win, so train wrecks get a win for me. That's crazy, bro. You're that down bad that you have to support another gambler to get a win because you can't get one? How much money has Drake lost at this point, bro? How do I donate? To the Cash App at the top right corner of the video. It's pinned to the comment section as well. I don't have Super Chats active right now. So if you'd like to donate, it'll be at the Cash App at the top right corner, or the link is in the description in the comment section. I appreciate everybody tapped in. He said, fuck them. They want smoke with OVO. It's up. Max them and have a great stream. So clearly, he wants somebody to fuck Stake like Stake fucks him. He wants train wrecks to get a max win so Stake could lose money as a company, so that could be their type of get back to their boss. Again, Drake is getting mad at the people that own him. Stake owns Drake. He promotes gambling for Stake, but it's only because he continues to gamble with them. It's a transactional relationship. I like to gamble. You provide the gambling. I'll promote your site, but just let me win. The problem is they don't never let Drake win. They don't ever let Drake win. Ever. He never wins. Bro, Drake is probably the worst gambler ever. Every time he posts a slip, he loses. He never wins a fight. If there's a fight night, he never knows who to put money on. I bet you anything he put it on Palesis instead of Cosma. I bet you anything. But anyways, this is just him going at his boss. If I could just sum this up, if you're not familiar with Kick and Stake, I'm going to do a future video about it. I've been actually like gathering a lot of information because I want to do like a really good video, like editing wise and shit like that. But this is just Drake getting mad at his bosses. Again, instead of the UMG boss, which is Lucien Grange, now he's getting at Eddie, the boss over there at Stake, because he continues to get fucked by the companies that own him. This is just another thing. Spit in the face is crazy. Let's just be real. Like, he is pissed, bro. The Drake curse is real. In gambling, yeah, I believe it, bro. I need a new boss. I need a new boss is crazy, bro. I need a new boss is wild, bro. Nah, dead ass. How come every time you get in business with somebody, you always get the shitty side of the deal, bro? How are you always the shitty side of the deal? Who would sign him at this point? The Pistons? Not even the Pistons. The Charlotte Hornets, bro. He better off playing. The only people that would sign him max contract is the Hornets. Not even. They'll put him on a 10-day. I need a new life. That's crazy, bro. I need a new boss for sure, bro. How are you getting into an argument with every person that you make a deal with? At this point, don't you realize that you're the only one to blame for the shitty deals that you come up with? Like, what are we even talking about, bro? Big shout out to Shalonda for the $15 donation. Support your channel. W Shalonda in the chat, y'all. W Shalonda in the chat. Let's go, Shalonda. This was for you, Shalonda. Let's go, man. Let's go. I appreciate y'all, man. I don't got super chats on right now. W Londa. Thank you, Londa. W. So look, man. These texts are wild. I feel like Drake was on one. No pun intended. We built this shit, and they treat us like shit. Doesn't this feel like he's talking to UMG? Like, I know the anger is coming from this guy Eddie from Steak, but the way that he's wording it, don't you feel like all of this anger is coming from another place besides Steak? It feels like all of this frustration, all of this built up anger in these messages are showing frustration that he has with the lawsuit and UMG. What he said right here could apply exactly to UMG. Spit in the face. We built this shit and they treat us like shit. Do you see that? It's like the anger is towards Steak, but the emotion comes from something else. It could be fair to say that he's upset at UMG the same way that he is at the way he is at Steak. That he's not betting his own money. It's in-house money. That's another thing. But he's also not making any money while betting. His contract with them is making him even more of a puppet at this point. And that's the point that I'm trying to make as well. Big shout out to Josh W. Thank you, Josh. Because that's what I'm saying. If you read these messages, it's exactly how it feels, the same sentiments to UMG. We built this shit, and they treat us like shit. I'm signed to you. I work with you, but I always get the shit end of the stick. But you're the one that signs these deals, bro. You're the one that is constantly trying to put yourself in a situation where you make these deals upon yourself. No one told you to make a deal with Steak. No one told you to sell your catalog to UMG. You could only be mad at yourself for putting yourself in those situations. But the way that you talk to Steak is the same way how you feel to UMG, allegedly. But I could see this conversation going both ways at both companies that own you. I was never allowed to push affiliate. Now, I don't know what that means. Maybe that's something on Steak. Maybe he wanted to be a Steak affiliate. I don't know what the benefits of that are. But Drake talking like this to a business partner only makes me feel like he'll talk about this to every other business partner he has, including Lucien, allegedly. But damn, bro, he looks pissed right here. Spit in the face. We built this shit. Like, what? Calling himself the Steph Curry of gambling is crazy. That is wild, bro. On 8/18, bro. So he was up late at night talking this shit. Calling this guy a snake. This is how you know that Drake is not a nice guy, bro. Like, this is how you know that he's a piece of shit. And they own him, bro. They own him. Like, it's embarrassing how bad they own him. There's a clip where this guy Eddie is telling them straight up, can you guys like promote the site more? Can you guys stop talking like real crazy shit, bro? This white guy is punking Drake. This white guy, he punked Drake, Aiden Ross, and XQC on stream. And they got mad, bro, and told him shit. Look at this. Oh.
You can work with anybody.
Look at this shit. Y'all remember the stream that they all did? Y'all let me know, because that's exactly the stream that I'm talking about. I had to say it right here. Get the likes up, y'all. I'm going to find this clip real quick. Let's see. I put x.com. Oh, there's a clip of this dude talking about it too. Hold up.
I feel too. You have to understand, bro. I put in.
They've been around 5 years before me.
I put in everything.
So this guy talks about it a little bit. So we're going to see what he says.
Like, what's going on, bro? What happened? Yeah, the good old memory misplaced. That's correct. That's correct. Believe me, however you feel, I feel too. You have to understand, bro. I put in I put in everything. I put in my life, my health, my safety, right? Like I put in everything, right? Before I touch them, like it's not like they came live as a casino and then coincidentally at the same time I joined, so they don't know where to put the successful credit to. We're talking they've been around for 5 years before me, and they were nowhere like relative to like real success. Earlier,
This guy, this is Train, and he asked the CEO Eddie to reload their 500K balance after Drake and Aiden Ross loses it all. So when these guys win big, bro, you guys have to understand that that is not their money, and this is the problem. Also, Drake is getting mad. Look how mad he is, bro. He is this guy owns Drake also. Really think about that real quick. This guy, Eddie, he owns Drake, just like Lucian. This is Lucian part 2. This is Lucian part 2. This guy right here with the Scooby-Doo van behind him owns Drake.
Okay, I sent my boy Drizzy Drake
Look how these guys ask for money.
over to Kino. Okay. I lost the guy 500. Okay, just hear me out. Hear me out. I need to see a 500K added to vault balance, please. Okay, it's just you don't understand. I'm stressing. Listen, it's not good.
Look at he just asked them for 500 grand. Look, they're asking for each other, bro. So even though Drake isn't talking, they're wanting to use it to gamble. This was the stream. Remember?
Okay. Just come on, just right there. I want to see your no. See, your fingers are together right now. I need to see your arms. Yes. Right there, out to the laptop. Just do the no. Come on, Eddie. Come on. Yeah. Right.
Look at that. Look at that, bro. P&D's like, I can't believe I'm in this degenerate fucking Discord right now. Hey man, look, it's not about and this is why I wanted to save this video, but I saw that this was a topic that was kind of going like I wanted to talk about the whole grand scheme of Stake and Drake's relationship. They're all of these people's relationship. I wanted to do a full-length video breaking all of this down. But when I saw this go viral of Drake just going off on the guy that runs Stake, I was like, hold on. This is getting way too out of hand.
No. Come on, just added 500K to vault balance, please. Okay, I'm sweating. If you can see my pit stains, I am stressing. Yes. Okay, Drake, we're clear. Yeah, we're clear. We're good. Thank goodness.
We're clear.
Thank you, Eddie.
Clear.
Eddie,
We're clear. We're good. Again, bro, just want to point out this guy owns Drake also. And I think he lays in bed with people, bro, that you don't want to be in business with. Like, it's one thing to gamble, but it's another thing to sell your soul to the gambling company. You see what I mean?
owe you one. I actually owe you one. Oh my
wow.
God.
And my roulette win came through. Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Wow, Train. Good Lord.
We're clear. Thank goodness. Good shit. Eddie, I love you. Just know that I say this publicly and out loud. I love you. Good man.
But then, right after that, it's fuck Eddie, spit in the face. We built this shit. They treat us like shit. And the guy gave Drake 500 grand. And he's saying that he treats him like shit, bro. That is crazy. This guy deals with Drake's addiction. He deals with Drake's addiction on a daily basis, bro. Like, imagine dealing with a millionaire's addiction of gambling. Whole other level of this shit. And this guy's trying to save face. He just ended that clip by saying, I love you, bro. I love you. Thank you. Look.
I feel too. You have to understand, bro. I put in everything. I put in my life, my health, my safety, right? Like I put in everything, right? Before I touch them, like it's not like they came live as a casino and then coincidentally at the same time I joined, so they don't know where to put the successful credit to. We're talking, they've been.
Hey, nah, bro. He said he gave him 500K in Chuck E. Cheese tokens that he could only spend in one place. He said, hey, you're not wrong, bro. He credited his account and he could only spend it at stake. You can't go and take that out, bro, until you win. That's the crazy part.
Around for 5 years before me, and they were nowhere, like relative to like real success. And then I joined, and instantly they became number one, right? You have to understand, like when Twitch banned it, Drake, like in 2022, like I was cooked, bro. I was in debt. I had zero. Like they had. Oh man, you have no idea, bro. I guess that's the cost of just authenticity and transparency. But I should have definitely had contracts in place, because let's just say people didn't. Let's say people like so. The issue I have now.
Big shout out to Tabitha. Great job breaking down all of Aubrey's shenanigans. I appreciate you, Tabitha. W Tabitha in the chat, y'all.
It isn't the fact that I'm not being taken care of properly for all that I did for them. It's that they genuinely, I don't know if they've convinced themselves of this, but they genuinely live in a reality where they truly believe, like, their reality is different from the actual facts of what went down. That's what I'm saying, right? The memory, right? Their memory, you know, their memory from then has shifted to now. It's changed. Things that, you know what I'm saying? And we've been able to come to terms on certain things, but yeah, the memory misplace is definitely there. I still can't figure out if it's a strategic move that's used. Because if they were to fully like admit everything I did, they would also be fully giving me all the leverage, which would make me ask for a lot more. So I don't know if it's a strategic misplace or if it's a genuine one. It seems like a genuine delusional one. That's what it seems like to me. But then you're left in an awkward place, right? You're left in an awkward place because the only way you could have proved anything was if you recorded. But if you record, that completely destroys the trust and you don't get anything anyways. So you're just in a fucked situation. So I think this experience really taught me, unfortunately, because this isn't how I operate as an individual. I don't like I hate contracts myself. But this experience has taught me contracts are necessary, because when you start dealing with loads of money, certain facts in some people's minds get altered. But it is what it is. This only really applies to people who don't push affiliates. If you push affiliates, your leverage is there forever. If I would have pushed affiliates from day one, I'd be moving so much fucking weight. I wouldn't be surprised if I would decline by.
There's another conversation that took place during that live stream that we had saw right here. There's another conversation that they had where, and I think this was the crazy part for me, was the dude, Eddie, that Drake is telling off in that live stream that he did with XQC, he straight up told him off, bro. He got mad because he was like, you guys need to promote the website. You guys are kissing and hugging each other on stream when you guys need to promote my website. And Aiden Ross, out of everybody, is the only one that said something, bro, which was crazy. Hold on.
Let me open the Discord. Let me look at you. I want to see Ed. Hold on. Let me see him. Where is he? How do I do it?
So I can find it.
Wait.
So this guy right here, bro, like I said, that's their boss.
Just have a few of them with the stake logo really clear and really fucking big. Yeah, just do what you do best, and then we'll be good to go.
Bro,
wait, let me ask you a question. Am I a robot, bro? Do you look at me like I'm a human being? I got feelings, bro. Am I a fucking robot?
Hey, no, just Aiden, on your screen, can you just zoom in a bit, just a tiny bit on the stake logo? It's a little bit small.
Show, bro. Yeah, bro, I got you. Let's get some real wins. Some real wins. I'll clip farm. I'll give you
with the
good energy, Aiden. We like that.
I'll leave you guys to it. I'm watching. I'm having a fucking great time. I'll be honest. Like, just watching you guys just fucking talk and have a good time is actually kind of heartwarming. But the results are fucking disgusting. But it's going to turn around now. All right, I'll leave you to it.
Yo, Eddie, thank you, man. Man to the people. Thank you.
All right, wait, real quick.
Man of the people, Ed. Thank you.
You see how he just dipped out, bro? He gave him $500,000 and said, make sure you promote the website. And when you clip farm, and if you guys don't know what clip farming is basically just them just getting a whole bunch of these videos and just spamming the fuck out of them in shorts. And he's telling them, make sure you promote my logo of the steak. And we all know how they use the steak logo. You go on Twitter, they use the steak logo constantly, bro, like constantly. And he's telling them, get to work, make sure you clip this shit up, and make sure you promote my website. Right after giving them money, bro, that guy, he owns every single person in this video. And that's the reason why Drake got mad the way that he did. Now he's calling him a snake. And he says, Eddie's been dissing the owls. Fuck Eddie. Fuck this goof. He said, spit in the face. We built this shit and they treat us like shit still. But what's crazy is that when he tells you to do your fucking job right in front of your fucking face, the only person to speak up is Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross got more balls than Drake. Look how they talk to their boss, bro. He didn't say a fucking thing. Look at that.
You guys gotta bounce. I don't want to get in the way of this energy. The crew assembled here right now needs to stick together. I am not here to ruin the you know that synergy. I need you guys to lock in, get some wins. Fucking Aiden, you need to do your shit where you get those clips viral, you know, and just have a few of them with the steak logo really clear and really fucking big. Yeah, just do what you do best, and then we'll be good to go.
Bro, wait, let me ask you a question. Am I a robot, bro? Do you look at me like I'm a human being? I got feelings, bro. Am I a fucking robot?
Hey, no, just Aiden, on your screen, can you just zoom in a bit, just a tiny bit on the steak logo? It's a little bit small.
Show, bro.
Just straight up. Just told them to their face, do your fucking job.
Get some real wins. I'll clip farm.
Good energy, Aiden. We like that.
Hey, I'll leave you guys to it. I'm watching. I'm having a fucking great time. I'll be honest. Like,
this is the boss checking in with his employees, and as soon as he like straightened them the fuck out, he dipped out of the call.
Just watching you guys just fucking talk and have a good time is actually kind of heartwarming, but the results are fucking disgusting. But it's going to turn around now, all right? I'll let you.
The results are fucking disgusting. You saw how he shitted on them, bro? Did you see how he shitted on all of them? That's their boss, bro. This is Lucian part 2. This is UMG, Lucian, Steak, Eddie, Drake, the prostitute, the slut, the whore, the person that they own.
It is actually kind of heartwarming, but the results are fucking disgusting. But it's going to turn around now. Let's just fucking talk and have a good time.
Look at this crazy. You guys are cute. All that shit you're talking is cute, but promote my fucking website, bitch. It's wild, bro.
Is actually kind of heartwarming, but the results are fucking disgusting. But it's going to turn around now, all right? I'll let you do it. It is actually kind of heartwarming. I'm having a fucking great time. I'll be honest. Like, just watching you guys just fucking talk and have a good time is actually kind of heartwarming, but the results are fucking disgusting. But it's going to turn around now, all right? I'll let you do it.
Yo, Eddie, thank you, man. Man to the people. Thank you.
All right, wait, real quick.
Man of the people, Ed. Thank you.
Real quick. Can all that?
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Fuck you, Eddie. Fuck you. Oh my god, bro. Oh, I guess I'll talk about this. I'll make a shorter version of this video tomorrow. I gotta go. It's already gonna be 12 where I'm at, bro. But y'all, I appreciate everybody tapped in. We're going on over 2 hours now. Final thoughts, everybody hit a bowl. Let's tapped in. Big shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody that's donated. Big shout out to Barry Murphy, Zoe herself, the Don. Shout out Austin, the Don, in the building, man. Shout out everybody. Shout out to the people. I know my shit wasn't working right now, but I'll still let you know. Big shout out to Tabby in the chat. Shalonda for the $15 donation. The Don Austin for the $35 donation. Shout out to Deborah for the donation. Juan for the donation. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Want to subscribe to the Patreon, or if you just want to join as a free member, if you missed the last live, it is in the link in the description. If you want to cop some merch, you can do that as well. But if you want to join as a member, it's just, I think it's like $3 or $2. So if you want to just be a member and tap in, support the channel, it's always a grateful thing to have people tap in with me on this channel. Remember, I am not the Ville. We are the Ville. Everybody in here is part of the community known as the Ville. I'm JV from the Ville. And we keep it alleged over here, bro. I never try to act like I know more than I do. whatever the case may be. But I appreciate that we take our time and efforts to just be here, whether you're at work, whether you're at home. You know, I got to work tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody that's watching from work also. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We going to keep it a legend, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.